Yeah, 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 yeah. Ram pa 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 pa. Let's kill this love. Ram pa 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 pa. Feeling like a sinner, it's so far with him. I go woo. He said you look crazy, think you baby. I'll eat up to you. Got me all messed up. His love is my.
This is question 1A. And my answer: on 1st of January 2016, Biocentric Berhad has acquired 160 million out of 200 million, or 80% of the total ordinary shares in the Exquisite Berhad and 25% of the 8% debentures in the Exquisite Berhad. Biocentric Berhad shall recognize Exquisite Berhad as its subsidiary through acquisition method. The portion of non-controlling interest of 20% shall be recognized in the financial statements. On 1st of March 2018, Biocentric Berhad has acquired 60% of the total ordinary shares in the Amazkin Berhad. Biocentric shall recognize Amazkin Berhad as its fellow subsidiary through the acquisition method as well. The portion of non-controlling interest of 40% shall also be recognized in the financial statements. Question 1B. In arriving the goodwill of the Exquisite Berhad on the 1st of January 2016, the consideration transferred plus non-controlling interest amounted to 280,000 less fair value of net asset will amounted to 18,000 ringgit. For the ordinary shares, less the impairment of 10% will amounted to goodwill of 16,200 ringgit. The debentures for Exquisite Berhad on the 1st of January 2016, the consideration transferred plus non-controlling interest amounted to 22,000 ringgit, less with the fair value of net asset will result into goodwill of 2,000 ringgit. In arriving goodwill of the ordinary shares for Amazkin Berhad on the 1st of March 2018, the consideration transferred plus non-controlling interest amounted to 591,000 ringgit, less with fair value of net asset amounted to 487,000 ringgit, will result into the amount of goodwill amounted to 104,600 ringgit.
This is question 1C. It will be the computation of non-controlling interest and group retained earning. It starts with the closing balance of retained earning of Exquisite Berhad, which is the subsidiary of Biocentric. Okay. The closing balance of retained earning will be amounted to 63.68 million, and after considering all the adjustment, it will arrive to the post-retained earning, which is 37.48 million, and 37.48 million will be apportioned according to the percentages of 80% to 20%. 80% would be 29.984 million ringgit, and for the 20% would be 7.496 million ringgit. And as for the second subsidiary, which is Amazkin Berhad, the closing retained earning would be 105 million ringgit, and after considering all the adjustment, it will arrive to post retained earning of 29.6 million ringgit, and that figure has to be apportioned to 60% to 40%, which is for 60% it will be 17.79 million ringgit, and for 40% it will be 11.84 million ringgit. And as for the parents, which is Biocentric, the closing retained earning will be the 194.8 million, and after considering all the adjustment, it will arrive at the 158 million 0.16 thousand, and that will be 100% belongs to the parents. And the last one will be the total. For the group retained earning, it will arrive at Now we move on to question 1D, which is the computation of SOPL statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 2018. Now for the computation of SOPL, you need to consolidate all the three companies, which is the parents, Centric, and the other two subsidiaries, Amazkin and Execute. And for the Amazkin, you need to only account for 10 months transaction. Now, after considering all the adjustment and which is expenses, other income, the profit after tax will arrive at 62.09 million. And after adding the other comprehensive income, which is the revaluation reserve 30,000, you will arrive at 92.09 million ringgit. As for the profit after tax attributable to the owner of the company, which is the NCI, will amounted to the 24.196 million ringgit, and for the owner of the company, which is the parents, it will amounted to 97.894 million ringgit, and the total will be the same as the profit with the comprehensive income, 92.09 million ringgit.
This is question 1E. Consolidated statements of changes in equity of Centric Berhad for the year ended 31st December 2018. So for the group retained profit, we start with balance BD, where we add post-retained profit of Exquisite Berhad plus post-retained profit of Centric Berhad, and then we plus profit for the year and last dividend paid. So the total group retained profit for the year ended 31st December 2018 is RM154.464. Next, for the computation of non-controlling interest, we start with balance BD, where we add investment in Exquisite plus post-RE of Exquisite plus acquisition during the year plus profit for the year minus dividend paid and plus accumulation during the year, and we arrive at an amount of RM286.976 million.
The last question for question 1 is for the consolidated statement of financial position of Centric Berhad as at 31st December 2018. So after all the adjustments have been made, we have arrived at the balancing figure of asset, liability and equity. It is of RM2,720,000.
This is question 2A. Joint control is the contractual agreed sharing of control of an arrangement which exists only when decision about the relevant activities require the unanimous consent of the party sharing controls.
So this is my question 2B1. So my answer is Delta Berhad enter into a contractual arrangement with another investor, Global Berhad, to design and build a road and have set up a new separate vehicle, Yasser Berhad, to facilitate the arrangement. The parties, Delta Berhad and Global Berhad, also have the right to the assets and obligations for the liabilities, but not to the net assets of the arrangement, and have the right, title, and ownership of the assets to the arrangement. In accordance to FAR610 joint arrangements, the types of joint arrangement above is a joint operation. A joint operation is a joint arrangement whereby the parties that have joint control of the arrangement have rights to the assets and obligations for the liabilities relating to the arrangement. Those parties are called joint operations. In its separate financial statements, a joint operator shall recognize in relation to its interest in a joint operation. First, its assets, including its share of any assets held jointly. Second, its liability, including its shares of any liabilities incurred jointly. Third, its revenue from the sale of its shares of the output arising from the joint operation. Fourth, its shares of the revenue from the sale of the output by joint operation. And lastly, Fifth, its expenses, including its shares of any expenses incurred jointly.
This is question 2B2. The answer is yes. There would be a different to accounting treatment if Yazid Berhad has the rights to its assets and obligation for its liabilities. This is because, according to MFRS 11, joint arrangement, if it is the separate vehicle, not the parties, which is Delta Berhad and Global Berhad, that has a right to the assets and obligations for the liabilities relating to the arrangements, and the parties also have no interest, no rights, title or ownership in the assets of the arrangement. Therefore, the type of arrangement will be joint venture. A joint venture is a joint arrangement whereby the parties that have joint control of the arrangement have rights to the net asset of the arrangement. Those parties are called joint ventures. In its separate financial statement, a joint venture shall recognize its interest in a joint venture as an investment and shall account for that investment using the equity method in accordance with MFRS 128 investments in associates and joint ventures unless the entity is exempted from applying the equity method as specified in the standard. Going to answer question 4, and this is the question. MFRS 10 allow an investor to have power even though it holds less than the majority of voting rights of an investee, which is the more than half of the voting rights if only the situation below occur. 1. There is a contractual agreement exists between investor and other investor. 2. The investor has voting rights and other decision-making rights which give the investor the rights to direct the relevant activities of the investee. Number 3. The investor has the practical ability to direct the relevant activities unilaterally. Number 4. The potential voting rights exist. And the final one, number 5, a combination of any of the above.